Now on Coast TV News.
Rehoboth Bike Rules, we look at how the city is addressing concerns on the boardwalk and other bike regulations.
Plus, seeking homeless solutions.
Trying to find ways to move people out of homelessness into permanent housing.
The effort in Georgetown to address a growing issue that has drawn concerns from the community.
Wind chills are back in the 20s this morning. A breezy, brisk day awaits, tracking a milder start to Valentine's Day weekend, plus a threat of some rain late in the weekend.
And more on Maryland, the controversial issues the governor weighed in on during his State of the State address.
This is Coast TV News Today.
It's Thursday, February 12th, 2026. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us during this 5 o'clock hour.
And Grace, we're closing in on Valentine's weekend, and when it comes to next year, got some very exciting news for you. I happened to look this up on this thing called the internet.
Oh, I didn't know you knew about that.
I know, yeah, I did. Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl next year are on the same day. I'm sure that's going to be very popular with a number of relationships out there.
See, it almost ruffled my feathers, but then I realized that's kind of the dream scenario. You can send your guy out, he can watch football with his friends, and then you get Valentine's Day all for yourself, hang out with your girls, do whatever you want, get all dressed up, have some fun. Goodbye to the men.
Plus, you might have like a get out of jail free card. Hey, you went to the Super Bowl party.
Oh my gosh, Matt, I like the way that you're thinking
ahead
ahead already.
I'm
counting down the days. What, 362 days? 360.
Well, I don't have to. I'll be able to spend Valentine's Day because the team I root for, the Clown Show Browns, they'll never be in the Super Bowl, so I don't have to worry about that.
Day.
However, Chris, we're going to go to First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. He's an Eagle fan, and well, every year the Super Bowl's in play for you guys. Must be nice.
Oh yeah, I think I'm going to be dreaming about that. My cousin lives in LA too. Might have to start saving now though. I'll put like $100 in a jar because it's going to be probably a pretty expensive trip. Well, good morning, Delmarva. As we take a live look into Ocean City, we have temperatures of, well, they're above the freezing mark, right? 35. Temperatures are generally in the lower to mid 30s. We're at 33, Milford 34 in Georgetown. But the problem is the winds this morning. We've had some. You may have heard the trees blowing overnight. Seen some gusts to near 20, 30 miles an hour. We're gusting to 20 Indian River Inlet, 23 in Salisbury. So that's creating a wind chill this morning. We have wind chills back in the 20s, feeling like 23 in Lewis, 22 in Indian River Inlet. So it's a far cry from where we were over the weekend with sub-zero wind chills. But the bottom line is a bit of a chill in the air this morning. We have overcast skies across the peninsula, and we're going to have a partly sunny day. See some lake effect snows across portions of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. We are looking at a breezy day ahead with the winds gusting anywhere between about 20 to 30 miles an hour. So the day will feel more like the 20s despite those air temperatures getting into the upper 30s under partly sunny skies. We'll talk more about the all-important Valentine's Day weekend ahead coming up in my full 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour are bike rules and concerns in Rehoboth Beach. We know bicycles are a popular way to get around our area, especially in beach communities.
And Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in Rehoboth Beach. Elisa, today the city going to look at ways to ensure bikers are safe as they say current routes and facilities need improvement.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Here in Rehoboth Beach, you will often see people biking, especially during the warmer months. We've got a bike right here. No one riding it right now. It's a little early, but you'll usually see people any time of the day, especially in the summer, out here biking. And today, the Rehoboth Beach Streets and Safety Committee, they're going to look at the Rehoboth Beach Bike Network. They say this is going to be a way to ensure that people can bike safely around this community. But they say that this route, it needs to be laid out as clearly as possible. They say that there needs to be better signs. For instance, Rehoboth Avenue North Lane directs away from downtown. It does not indicate how to get into city limits. Use of Rehoboth Beach Avenue South just ends at the bridge. The city says proper maintenance is needed as Rehoboth Avenue lanes were not plowed last winter when it snowed. Some proposed plans for the bike network include add crossing away from the circle to link the end of the bike lane and Rehoboth Museum to Canal Street. This will establish safer crossing for all of its users. And they also want to consider investing in formal bike stations at several locations with ample bike racks in visible positions near the end of the boardwalk. They want to relocate those racks from Rehoboth Avenue and keep them away from sidewalks, as sidewalks, you're not allowed to ride your bike on them unless you are a child 12 years or younger, and you're not allowed to ride your bike on the boardwalk in the summertime after the hour of 10 a.m. And today those considerations will be further looked at this morning at the meeting at 10 o'clock. Back to you.
Lisa Weber in Rehoboth Beach. Let's turn our attention now to Georgetown in dealing with a homeless situation there. At the Supportive Housing Issues Committee meeting, we expect to see presentations from multiple organizations that offer resources for those experiencing homelessness or affordability issues. Springboard Delaware and Higher Ground Outreach, they're set to give updates on their respective services, and we spoke with one committee member about how the group aims to help those experiencing homelessness. Listen to what he had to say.
So trying to find ways to move people out of homelessness into permanent housing, and also focusing on what causes homelessness, what brings them to the area, and how they wind up here.
Committee is meeting in Georgetown at 4 this afternoon.
Some things to know. At a past committee meeting in January, members voted back to the idea to bring cottage homes to Georgetown. The committee was formed to help local organizations combat homelessness. Members could give a presentation on this in Georgetown council meeting in a future meeting.
New this morning, over $7 million in federal conservation funding is coming to Delaware, but it's actually designed to help to protect the Chesapeake Bay. The funding includes 10 grants aimed at improving water quality and restoring habitat across the state's portion of the Bay Watershed. That's the tie-in there. A big share is going to the Nature Conservancy. The organization secured nearly $990,000 to use advanced sensor technology. This measures nitrogen reductions from multiple species cover crops. For what other organizations are receiving grant funding for, you can head to the article on this on CoastTV.com.
And an update to a story that we brought you on Wednesday. Maryland Governor Wes Moore touched on a number of topics at his State of the State address. Wednesday afternoon, Governor Moore spoke on affordability and the proposed budget as the state faces a deficit of over $1 billion. All this while issuing some criticism toward the current federal administration.
So we've delivered enormous progress together, but there's still work to do. First, we need to protect our people from the damage that is being caused by this federal administration. And in a moment when prices are going up on everything, our proposed budget does not raise taxes or fees on the people of this state.
And after Governor Moore's address, Republican Senator Steve Hershey from Queen Anne's County gave the official Republican response. Hershey is seen as a possible challenger to Governor Moore in November's election.
As this governor enters his 4th year in office, Marylanders are entitled to more than vision. Results matter more.
If Governor Moore fails to be reelected in November, this could be his last State of the State address. A recent Morning Consult poll found that Governor with more than 60% approval rating statewide.
New this morning, Cambridge is giving people in the city a say in shaping its future. They're asking for feedback on its comprehensive plan. Officials say the plan will cover how land, housing, transportation, and the use of other resources. Maryland law requires these plans to address everything from community facilities and development regulations to sensitive environmental areas and fisheries. According to the city, people can view the draft plan and provide comments online until March 13th. And we are now taking a live look at Tucson, Arizona. Investigators, including the FBI, are continuing to search for clues in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And this just in intense hours after authorities released video of a subject. They're wading through more than 4,000 new calls and tips.
As NBC's Alice Barr shows us, that is as law enforcement expanded the search into the Catalina foothills and roads surrounding her home.
Investigators tracking new leads this morning in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, with our Tucson affiliate KVOA reporting that authorities found a pair of black gloves as they expand their search and have sent them in for DNA analysis. KVOA also reporting investigators are asking neighbors in the Catalina foothills to check their doorbell cameras for footage from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight. That's 3 weeks before Guthrie went missing, and from the morning of January 31st, 9:30 to 11. The community on edge, worried especially for older neighbors.
The thought of this happening to any of them is scary and sad, and yeah, I hope she comes back home so we can all feel safe again and so that her family can be happy.
Today Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have called for the public's help to bring their mother home. And the Pima County Sheriff's Department says they've received 18,000 calls since Nancy's February 1st disappearance, with a surge after the FBI released this recovered video of someone tampering with her doorbell camera. Following one lead, Pima County investigators detained and then released a man on Tuesday and searched a property in southern Arizona. Authorities have not identified who they detained or why, but this man, Carlos Palazuelos, says it was him and he's innocent, noting investigators showed a relative photos of a masked man.
And they supposedly look like my eyes.
He says he delivers packages in the Tucson area but had nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance as the community rallies to bring her home. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening today, Delmar School District is increasing security at Delmar Middle and Senior High School. The district says a weapons detection system will go live today and could increase wait times when entering. With the new system, officials say that students can no longer enter through the district office doors.
We are learning more about a fire at a property in Wycomico County. You can see our Coast Copter was overhead. This was around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon at Twillys Bridge Road near the Salisbury Airport. State Fire Marshal says the fire started around 2:30 p.m. That's when the owner was burning a brush pile that accidentally spread. No injuries were reported.
We're just getting started here on this hour of Coast TV News today.
Now coming up, Delaware Business Boost, how a new program aims to provide help for upgrades.
Also, dust blowing havoc. We'll tell you how one homeowner is taking action as dirt keeps blowing onto their property from a nearby field.
But first, lifelong passion turns into a legacy. How one artist's journey is bringing culture and connection to the first state. Coast TV News today.
A man from Mexico who's been in the country for about 30 years continues his passion for painting here in the area. For him, it's all about the excitement of getting to see his murals and paintings in the first state. Coast TV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us how it all started.
Gilberto Rodriguez says he started painting when he was 6 years old, something he says he has never stopped doing. Since 2015, he has had this mural at Crusoe's restaurant in Rehoboth Beach.
One of my friends, he was working here, and he said, you know, the people from the restaurant, from the owners, they are looking for somebody to do a mural in the restaurant. And I said, okay, why not? So I love that. So normally, you know, I'm always saying, you know, I'm not doing this just for money, or I have a lot of fun doing it.
Rodriguez says the owners of the restaurant are from Greece, and it took him about a week to bring them a little piece of home.
I was spending, you know, after work, I was spending my nights doing this mural, you know, the nights of 3, 4, 5 hours.
Today, it is exciting for Rodriguez to see the final product.
Sometimes, you know, when you start a mural, you get a picture, but when you're in front of the wall, it's something so different. So I start, you know, mixing the colors, so I talk with the owners. So what do you want to see in the mural? So they said they got water, they got ocean, they got very old buildings.
Rodriguez is excited to continue following his passion.
It's not about the money, it's just about your feelings. And my feelings are just, before I go from this earth, I want to leave something for the next generations of the Latinos in this country.
Leaving a legacy, one painting at a time. For Coastal Connections, I'm Ana Sofia Roman.
Time is 5:18, and we are giving you a live look at the canal in Lewis. Still seeing some ice there. Chris, we have slightly cooler temperatures for today, but good news, at least from my end here, is that we are getting above that freezing mark again at some point.
Yeah, that is good news. We're going to stay primarily above the freezing mark today. The bad news is we're going to have a bit of a pesky wind chill. It's going to keep temperatures feeling, well, more like the mid to upper 20s. Now, the good news is this is going to be the last chilly day over the next really 7 to 10 days. We are looking at dry conditions out there in Rehoboth Beach at 33 degrees. Temperatures are kind of just above the freezing mark, 33 in Long Neck. We're at 34 Redden, and Georgetown 35 in Salisbury. We may have heard the winds Overnight, we're seeing some gusts continue anywhere between about 15 to 25 miles an hour. We're gusting to 23 Indian River Inlet to 18 in Millsboro. So that's creating wind chills in the 20s. Feels like 21 in Lewis, 26 in Ocean City, and feeling like 23 in Bethany Beach. Now, we still do have small craft advisories for the Delaware Bay as well as the Delaware coast. These run through 6 o'clock tonight, and then along the Chesapeake Bay, these run through early Friday morning. Now, we have overcast skies across the peninsula. You see the lake effect snows across western portions of Pennsylvania and New York. We have high pressure to our west, an area of low pressure, Canadian Maritimes, and that pressure gradient is causing those gusty winds that we're dealing with. Temperatures upper 30s this afternoon, but notice the wind chill, stuck in the upper 20s. Making it feel quite chilly out there with that northwest wind, getting up to 36 in Lewis this afternoon, 38 Ocean Pines to 39 in Georgetown. And so the winds will continue to gust anywhere between about 25 to 30 miles an hour throughout the afternoon. Now the winds will begin to relax as we go into the evening and overnight, so the winds will be gusting to near 20 through early Friday morning. Now we have partly sunny skies through the afternoon. Clouds will break apart through the evening and overnight and will drop into the lower to mid-20s. So a cold start to our Friday, but we warm up pretty nicely by the afternoon. We'll touch around 40 degrees under mostly sunny skies, and then we trend even milder into the start of the weekend. We're up to 50 degrees for our Valentine's Day, a gorgeous start to the weekend, and then we're mostly dry into Sunday. It's Sunday night. We see an area of low pressure now trending a little weaker and a bit further to the south. You can see some rain and snow along the Mason-Dixon line, but for us it's just primarily a rain event and some light to moderate rainfall expected into early Monday morning before that system pushes offshore and we see, well, above normal temperatures are going to continue into early next week. In fact, we may be making a run at near 60 degrees by the middle part of next week. 50 for your President's Day with an early morning shower. By the afternoon, expect dry conditions and look at the warming trend, 54 Tuesday, and then pushing, 60 degrees by Wednesday under partly cloudy skies.
All right, thank you, Chris. We are hearing from people living on Brown Road in Salisbury. They say strong winds are carrying dirt off a nearby field and dumping it onto their properties. They describe this dust building up like sand in their yards and even making its way inside their homes. It's forcing constant cleanup and raising concerns about what they are breathing.
I'm not afraid of dirt out there in the field and in my yard. I'm afraid of the fine dust, the silica that I'm breathing into my lungs.
Jodry says he has reached out to the Department of Agriculture and the Environmental Protection Agency.
And up next on Coast TV News today, Delaware Business Boost. What projects are available for assistance in Dover? Coast TV News today. We'll be right back. Some downtown Dover businesses could be getting a boost soon for some much needed upgrades. The Downtown Dover Partnership has relaunched its Critical Improvements Program, and officials say it aims to help property and business owners fund renovations that boost safety, meet ADA standards, add commercial kitchens, and revive long vacant buildings. Officials say about $300,000 remain after the program launched in 2022, with $1.28 million from Delaware's Community Reinvestment Fund.
If they want to renovate their property, if they're looking to attract additional potential tenants to their property, but they're not ADA compliant, that's where we really want to spend these dollars.
Officials say program applications will be due on March 15th.
Hope this Thursday morning is treating you well. Delmarva temperatures are beginning just a little above the freezing mark in Rehoboth Beach. We're at 33 degrees, partly sunny skies through the afternoon. Now we're going to be about 10 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday for highs. Plus with the added wind gusts, it's going to feel more like the 20s throughout the afternoon in Lewis and Rehoboth Beach. So a colder day than we've had over the last two. 33 in Cambridge around 7 a.m. and then we'll get up to the upper 30s under partly sunny skies, a little more in the way of cloud cover as well. Congratulations to Margaret Romanoff, Millsboro, Delaware. You just won an umbrella from Coast TV. Coming up, we'll have the latest on your all-important Valentine's Day weekend forecast in the next half hour.
Looking forward to it, Chris. After the break on Coast TV News today, State of the State address, the topics mentioned by Maryland Governor Wes Moore on Wednesday.
Also, Georgetown Help for Homeless, how one committee is working to reduce this issue in the town.
Plus, Rehoboth bike regulations. What possible changes are in discussion today? CoastTV News continues after the break.
Now on Coast TV News.
Resources for homeless. What Georgetown is doing to address a continuing crisis.
Rehoboth Bike Rules, we look at how the city is addressing concerns on the boardwalk and other bike regulations.
Plus, Maryland cost concern.
Our proposed budget does not raise taxes or fees on the people of this state.
The big promise Governor Wes Moore made during his State of the State address.
Wind chills are back in the 20s this morning. A breezy, brisk day awaits, tracking a milder start to Valentine's Day weekend, plus a threat of some rain late in the weekend.
This is Coast TV News Today.
February 12th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, we're closing in on 5:30 a.m. It is Thursday, and we've established that this is Grace's favorite day of the week. So happy Thursday, Grace.
Thank you, Matt. To the tune of your favorite song, it's Thursday, Thursday. Gotta get down on Thursday.
I'm hoping to have something tomorrow on that. We'll see.
If you're lucky.
That's what we call a tease, folks.
Well, we just had Chris in the studio with us. He was telling us we may not have as beautiful a day that we had yesterday, but it's still something to look forward to on this optimistic Thursday morning.
Good morning, Grace and Matt. We're going to still continue to see dry conditions across the area, but we're going to be about 10 degrees cooler across the peninsula than where we were yesterday. 35 right now in Ocean City. We're holding a 33 in Long Neck, 34 Georgetown, and we are at the freezing mark in Harrington at this hour. The winds continue to gust to 23 in Salisbury, 20 in Redden, 23 in Indian River Inlet, so that's creating wind chills in the lower 20s, feeling like 21 in both Indian River Inlet and Lewis at this hour. So we have cloudy skies across the peninsula. We have an area of low pressure well offshore and then high pressure just to our west that's going to continue building to the east through the day today. So we begin right around the freezing mark, getting up into the upper 30s through the afternoon under partly sunny skies, but with the wind, it will feel more like the upper 20s through the warmest part of the day. Coming up, we will talk about a nice warm up over the next 7 days and the threat of some rain late in the weekend. That's coming up a little bit later on in my full forecast.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour is bike rules and concerns in Rehoboth Beach. Bikes are a popular mode of transportation activity in Sussex County, especially in those beach communities.
Yeah, and our Lisa Weber is live in Rehoboth Beach, and today the city is looking at ways to improve current routes and facilities. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Here in Rehoboth Beach, you will often see people biking, especially when it's warm outside. You can see we've got a bike right here. There are restrictions, though, on the boardwalk. You are not allowed to ride your bike past the hour of 10 a.m. in the summertime, and you are never allowed to ride your bike on the sidewalk unless you are a child 12 years and younger. Today, Rehoboth Beach is going to look at something called the Rehoboth Beach Bike Network. They say that this is a way to encourage more people to bike around this area, as well as make sure everyone is safe while doing so. Officials say that this bike network needs to be laid out as clearly as possible. They say, for instance, Rehoboth Avenue North lanes direct away from downtown. There's no indication how to get into the city. The use of the sidewalk on Rehoboth Avenue South just ends at the bridge. The city says proper maintenance is also needed. For example, Rehoboth Avenue lanes were not plowed last winter. Some proposed plans include the bike network to make the circle safer for those who are riding their bike. They're also going to consider a bike station that's going to have ample bike racks in visible positions near the ends of rides so that riders can put their bike away before they head on to the boardwalk and keep people off of sidewalks as much as possible. And these recommendations will be further discussed this morning at the Streets and Safety Committee meeting at 10 o'clock. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa. In Rehoboth. Happening today, the continuing effort in dealing with the homelessness situation in Georgetown. Today, the Supportive Housing Issues Committee meeting, we expect to see presentations from multiple organizations that offer resources for those experiencing homelessness or affordability issues. Springboard, Delaware, and Higher Ground Outreach are set to give presentations about the services each organization has available. And town leaders will gather in Georgetown at 4 p.m. this afternoon to discuss.
Got some things to know about this. At a past committee meeting in January, members voted to support the idea of bringing cottage homes to Georgetown. The committee was formed to help local organizations combat homelessness, and members could give a presentation on this to the Georgetown Town Council in a future meeting.
An update to a story that we first brought to you on Wednesday. Maryland Governor Wes Moore touched on a number of topics during his State of the State address. Wednesday afternoon, Governor Moore spoke on affordability and the proposed budget as the state faces a deficit of over $1 billion. All this while issuing some criticism of the current federal administration. After Governor Moore's address, Republican Senator Steve Hershey from Queen Anne's County gave the official Republican response, and Hershey is seen as a possible challenger to Governor Moore in this November's election.
As this governor enters his 4th year in office, Marylanders are entitled to more than vision. Results matter more.
And if Governor Moore fails to be reelected in November, this could be the last State of the State address. A recent morning consultant poll found that the governor had more than a 60% approval rating statewide.
New this morning, over $7 million in federal conservation funding is coming to Delaware. It's to actually help protect the Chesapeake Bay. The funding includes 10 grants aimed at improving water quality and restoring habitat across the state's portion of the Bay Watershed. Big share is going to the Nature Conservancy. That's an organization securing nearly $990,000 to use advanced sensory technology to measure nitrogen reductions from multiple species cover crops.
Things to know. Cambridge is giving people the say in shaping its future. The city is now asking people for feedback on its comprehensive plan. Officials say the plan will cover how land, housing, and transportation, as well as the use of other resources. Maryland law requires these plans to address everything from community facilities and development regulations to sensitive environmental areas and fisheries. According to the city, people can view the draft plan and provide comments online now until March 13th. We're now taking a live look into Tucson, Arizona on this Thursday morning. It is now day 12 in the search for today's show host Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother, Nancy.
Guthrie was last seen on January 31st before disappearing from her Arizona home without her phone or critical medications.
Reed Binion now showing us the new information investigators are releasing.
It's horrible. It brings the community together. I know Savannah has a lot of support there in Tucson.
Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona speaking about the heartbreaking and baffling story playing out in his home state. The search for today's show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, now in its 12th day. Kelly urging the public to continue helping.
Anybody who has any information to please call. Don't assume that it's not helpful.
On Wednesday, day 11 of the search, FBI agents scoured the roads and rugged desert terrain surrounding Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home. A reporter from the New York Post witnessed agents pick up what appeared to be a dark glove off the side of the road about 1.5 miles from Guthrie's home.
It had just been discarded on the side of the road. We just happened to be on the road when those agents pulled over and saw that they were looking at something.
It's not clear if authorities believe it's the same glove worn by the person seen in doorbell camera footage from outside Guthrie's front door taken the night she disappeared. That video, released by the FBI, showed a masked, armed person with a backpack. Also Wednesday, TMZ reported it received another emailed letter, this time from someone claiming to know who Guthrie's kidnapper is.
They said if they want to get the name of the individual who is involved in this kidnapping, give us a Bitcoin through this address.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
New overnight, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi testified before the House Judiciary Committee on Wednesday. She's answering questions on several hot-button issues, including the Trump administration's handling of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's case records. The Department of Justice recently released millions more pages of documents related to Epstein, but critics are urging more transparency in releasing additional files and uncovering certain reactions.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Salisbury Zoo in the spring. What celebrations the zoo says that people can look forward to.
Also, Seahawks surge the big fourth quarter by Decatur, taking out one of the top teams in the Bayside North. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
Good Thursday morning, Delmarva. Hope your day is off to a wonderful start as we take a live look into Ocean City, where the temperature is 35 degrees. Wind chills are back in the low to mid 20s. It feels like 27 in Ocean City, 21 in Lewis, 23 in Cambridge. That's all thanks to strong northwest winds that continue to see gusts near 25, 30 miles an hour across the peninsula at this hour. We are under the influence of overcast skies. We will see partly sunny skies throughout the afternoon, getting up to the upper 30s from Lewis, Rehoboth to Dewey. A little more in the way of sunshine as you make your way down to Chincoteague, as we'll continue to see partly sunny skies for most of our area, but it will feel more like the 20s with the wind chill across the area today. We'll talk more about the weekend ahead coming up by full 7-day forecast. Matt.
Okay, Chris. New this morning, if you live in Worcester County and you have a stream or creek running through your property, you could qualify for free trees. Berlin officials say the 2026 backyard buffer tree giveaway is now open to eligible landowners. Each bundle includes 25 bare root native tree and shrub seedlings about 1 to 2 feet tall. Organizers say you'll receive 5 seedlings each for flowering dogwood, pawpaw, persimmon, spice bush, and witch hazel.
Sounds like a good deal, Matt. Also new this morning, the Salisbury Zoo looking forward to its spring activities. According to the organization, an Easter-themed event is planned for March 28th. It'll feature the Easter Bunny, prize giveaways, and a Jeep show and tell. The zoo's Earth Day celebration on April 18th aims to emphasize education and community participation with a 5K walk or run, up to you, takes place May 2nd, where participants will travel through the zoo in Salisbury City Park.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
Good morning, Delmarva. Happy Thursday to you. The high school basketball regular season is winding down, but the Stephen Decatur girls are trying to make this a season to remember. Heading down to Eastern Maryland, where they wanted to make it 3 straight, and they can do that with threes like this from Maya Holland. Gets a nice little shooter's touch and the roll to go. But on the other end, Maya Bailey for Easton gets all the way to the rack, and they're down by 3 at the end of 1. But in the second quarter, 1-2 passes, find an open Lila Gunther for a layup, but then Easton hanging around. Bailey gets the rebound and makes a touchdown pass to Kamari Lewis for the layup. But the Seahawks get the last bucket of the half from Malia Blake, and they would lead 26-18 at the halftime stop. We go to the third quarter, and it's Blake again. Little Kyrie layup with the left hand to keep Decatur out in front, but then Bailey, the big 3 to make it a single-digit game. It's 34-28 Decatur at the end of 3. Fourth quarter, Serenity Velez from the same spot to make it a 1-possession game, but Blake trying to put the Hawks up by 4, and she does at the big-time 3. But where would the Warriors be without Bailey? She gets all the way to the rack for the floater to once again make it a 1-possession game. But as Easton makes it close, Blake wants to create more separation. Top of the key 3-pointer is good, and then a little icing on the cake. Loose ball is picked up by Decatur, and Malia Emanuel gets the layup. Stephen Decatur goes on to win 49-43 to improve to 18-2 on the season. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 6, it is live. Women's college basketball in Maryland Eastern Shore hosts Norfolk State, and then you can catch the final score at 10:30. You can also watch that UMES game on DSN Plus, along with these exclusives. 5:15, we have Polytech hosting Smyrna in girls basketball. Then we have some boys hoops to tell you about. 5:30, Cambridge South Dorchester visits Crisfield. Mardella takes on St. Michael's at 6, and at 6:30, Woodbridge hosts Lake Forest.
If you're having a rough week, cheer up with a wheelie dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up to get a weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Chill is back in the air for our Thursday. We're going to be about 10 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday. Welcoming back mostly sunny skies, and we end the week on a pretty high note, and we're going to carry that momentum over into the weekend. We'll talk more about that after the break.
The time is 5:46 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Ocean City. Chris, some ice is melting, and maybe some hearts are melting too this weekend. Get it?
Oh yeah, I get it. we're looking for yeah. Well, my chocolate's going to be melting too at the way that heat's cranking back there. But we are going to be seeing really nice conditions as we go into the start of our Valentine's Day weekend here on Delmarva. 33 right now in Rehoboth. So we are above the freezing mark throughout most locations, right at the freezing mark in Harrington. We're at 34 in Georgetown. We've had some pretty gusty winds overnight, gusting to 30 miles an hour. Right now, we're seeing gusts anywhere between about 15 to 25 throughout the peninsula. So that's creating some wind chills this morning. Not quite below zero like we had over the weekend, but still a little chillier than what we've experienced over the last 2 days, feeling more like the low to mid 20s. Now we do have small craft advisories up for the entire Delmarva coast through the Atlantic, as well as the Chesapeake. Those run through this evening, and then along the Chesapeake, they run through early Friday morning. Now we have cloudy skies across the area. You can see the push of cloud cover across the area from the north, a bit more in the way of clear skies across the southern half of the peninsula, but we have high pressure building east, and that's going to keep us pretty dry here over the next few days. So we get up in the upper 30s this afternoon, but notice that pesky wind chill, upper 20s during the warmest part of the afternoon. Highs today, 37 in Milford, 39 in Georgetown. We'll see a high 37 Cambridge, 39 Salisbury to 39 in Pocomoke City. Now the winds will continue out of the northwest throughout the afternoon, gusting at times to near 30 miles an hour. As we go into the evening and overnight, the winds will relax as we go into Friday morning. So the partly sunny skies will be with us through the afternoon, clearing skies for the evening and overnight, so it will be a mainly clear night as we dip back into the lower to mid 20s. And as far as our Friday is concerned, really looking nice. Mostly sunny skies. We get up to 40 degrees, and then there is that really nice Valentine's Day forecast. We're up to 50 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Most of Sunday is dry, but we've been tracking this storm system, now trending a bit weaker and a bit further to the south. You can see a little light snow there along the Mason-Dixon line, but for us, it's just a cold rain with some breezy conditions developing late Sunday night through early Monday morning. I think by the morning rush Monday, most of that is going to be pushing offshore, and we're looking at a really dry start to next week and a mild start at that. Looking at that 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, well above normal. We're up to 50 degrees for your President's Day after a few morning showers, especially in the pre-dawn hours. We're up to 60 degrees by next Wednesday. Matt.
Chris, that is fantastic. What a way to end that weather hit. Well, you are now looking live at downtown Milan, Italy. It is almost noon there. Men's hockey set to take on Latvia later today in Milan as the 25th Olympic Winter Games continue. And now let's take a look at the medal count. U.S. now has 4 gold so far, 6 silver, 2 bronze, bringing their total to 12 medals. That's a big jump from the 7 that we reported on Wednesday. Norway, 7 gold, 2 silver, 4 bronze. That brings their total to 13. 13 leads these Olympic Winter Games. Italy has that too, with 4 gold, 2 silver, and 7 bronze.
We're catching up, Matt. It's day 9 of the competition of the Olympic Winter Games, and our coverage will continue all the way to the closing ceremonies. Those are on February 22nd, right here on Coast TV.
Got a programming note for you. Due to the Winter Olympics, from February 9th through the 20th, you can catch Jeopardy on our sister station. It's Fox 21 at its regular time, 7:30 p.m. It's same show, same time. We're just showing it on a different channel while the games are on.
Time's now 5:50 a.m. and it is time to check in Matt Pensick with our Coastal Pet of the Day.
And today's Coastal Pet of the Day, missing time spent playing in the yard. I can relate to this one here. On your screen, we have Cookie. As you can see, Cookie is sitting on the porch by the window, thinking of warmer times of running around the grass. Cookie will be happier when that ice is gone and she's playing in the yard again. Cookie was submitted to us by Donna in Longneck.
Matt Pensick, I think Cookie might just be your spirit animal today.
I think so,
for the
yeah.
ice to melt.
Me too.
We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva, your dogs, your cats, your amphibians, your chickens, all that in between. Get those photos, tell us what makes them so special if you take a look at your screen now.
That'd be pretty neat to see a chicken. Scan that QR code top center, get your friends to us, then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Black farmers in America continue to face severe disparities. They make up less than 2% of all farmers and own less than 1% of U.S. farmland.
In Kansas City, black farmers are investing in youth with the hope of harvesting equality and reclaiming lost farmland.
All of a sudden, they started coming in and tearing down these little homes.
Dr. Barbara Johnson is fighting to keep her Kansas City neighborhood. Her family settled here in 1961 after fleeing the Jim Crow South. She was 16 years old.
If I'm 80, think about it. We're not going to be able to hold on much longer because our younger people cannot afford the homes.
It's a struggle dating back decades. Since 1920, black farmers lost over 85% of their farmland. Higher property taxes, lower wages, grant discrimination by the USDA, and eminent domain. Barbara's father lost his property in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's why they came here.
Can you imagine them walking in and says, we're going to take all that land you have that raised 14 of us and walk away for about $6,000 for all that land? I mean, it would be like taking all of this from my papa.
Life in Kansas City was better, but not easy. Even though black Americans could buy homes, they couldn't garden on their own property. Dr. Johnson believes the government knew even then, if people can grow their own food, they can survive.
As long as they can say, we're not being racist, we're not discriminating, the lie works. We have got to take the land back, teaching our children to farm, period.
That's where Tony Gatlin comes in. Since 2010, these two women have been planting community gardens across Kansas City schools.
This is, to me, science, math, English, everything.
They teach students how to grow food, protect the environment, become self-sustainable. The hope is today's youth will grow healthy, become educated, come back to the land, and own it.
The young Afro-Americans here, Miss Tony, you're taking us back into slavery time. Miss Tony, why are you gardening? You're pushing us back from the science of it, from the math of it, from the legal part of it. You need to look at agriculture as a broad career field.
Reversing generations of discrimination will take time, but Barbara and Tony are planting seeds of change today in hopes of harvesting equality tomorrow.
That's why I'm so committed. Food is a first order.
And we're bringing back First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono as we are heading towards a sunshine day today.
How exciting is that? Warming up the land, warming up our hearts for Valentine's Day weekend. This is exciting.
I'm doing my best. I mean, at least we're not going to have sub-zero wind chills this upcoming weekend, right? We're going to be actually in the 50s by Valentine's Day. So partly sunny skies through the afternoon. A cooler day, only getting into the upper 30s, but the winds are going to continue to gust to near 30, making it feel more like the upper 20s through the afternoon today. We get to 40, mostly sunny skies for our Friday, and then there's that 50-degree temperature for Valentine's Day, looking very nice. And then tracking a system that's going to track to our south on Sunday, bringing a round of rain Sunday night into early Monday morning. We're looking at that system to clear out by Monday afternoon, and then the warming trend continues, pushing up to near 60 degrees by Wednesday. And we're looking at, relatively above, a little above average there as we go into the middle part of next week, and then a little cool down by the end of next week. But overall, no big Arctic outbreaks anywhere in that 10-day forecast.
Yes, that's what I like to hear. All right, coming up in our next hour, beach bike access. How Rehoboth is working to find that balance between cycling in the city and the safety of the public. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.